What's up, everyone? Welcome to We Out Here MMA, not podcast, but show, but now podcast.
Wow.
Guys, if you're shocked about that, don't be, because you know what? We're about to go into the new year. We do new things up here. We do big things, aka Lift God. Check out a single big. We are now a podcast. Right now, we are not on all the Spotifys, the iTunes, and all that stuff. We are just on this link here below. But we will be joining all your favorite podcast streaming services in the next year. But if you're like, I don't want to listen to that. I want to look at these handsome faces. I want to see Alex looking at a screen, Acosta, or Nick literally owns only black because his clothes matter. And I respect that.
All clothes matter.
All clothes matter, Nick. All right?
Should I say that? Is that okay to say?
Say it right now. See what happens. And we're going to cut
All
in really
clothes
close.
matter?
And then we're gonna bleep out clothes and change that to something else. Okay, let's start off the show. First of all, with our favorite Chola, Alex, wearing his New Year's attire. Alex, tell us about your attire and what you do on the night out. Let's say 2019. If it was a New Year's, what would you do, Alex?
I'd be at home watching Netflix and going to bed.
With his lady. Oh, yeah.
Can you get a picture of her lady right here?
Right here? Here she is.
Just zoom up on his hand. There she is. Her name is Karen.
Man, she thick.
Karen.
She is thick. Look at that.
Bro, you have the widest. I don't even know what that part is. Nick, how do you work that muscle out, this part?
By benching a lot, bro.
You just lift fucking thousands of pounds like Alex does.
Yeah,
used to.
1,000 pounds.
I'm fat. I can't wait for the New Year's resolution.
Is what? Get fatter?
Eat my
Get
ass.
back in shape, bro.
No, man, I say New Year's resolution for you is straight up just do a competition. You need an end goal. Good. It's going to be sponsored by this podcast. And if you don't, you're kicked off the show. We bring on a fan.
We're going to be...
What?
Let's get Alex some steroids. We're going to have a GoFundMe down below to fund Alex's steroids.
Hey, they ain't that expensive, but...
but we'll do it anyway. Why not?
Well,
Let's
Nick,
have a giveaway.
Tell us about what you typically would do on a New Year's Eve with your now wife. What did you guys do last year, and why are you wearing all
Every
black?
year, we usually we go to Tiff's family's house.
Zoom up on Alex yawning. Zoom up on Alex yawning to this story.
We usually don't last that long because we fall asleep at like
me
midnight.
too.
You know, and then we fall asleep, and then it's all good.
That's the time that you need to stay up till anyway, so you're good.
Yeah, it's like we're boring, dude. We don't do anything for New Year's, dog. And I feel like everything that you can do for New Year's is usually riddled with COVID, you know, like a lot of people, and then there's COVID everywhere. So, you know what? I think we're going to sit this year out.
Yeah, 2018, I was at my friend Alfonso's house. We got turn up, and then we went to
apple cider and shit. You know?
I actually turned up too. I actually drank alcohol, but beer, not like liquor. And then
Brewskis, bro.
That's a guy that drinks right there. But like beer, not like liquor or something.
Beer,
and then
but not like liquor, fool.
And then like we went to sleep around like maybe 4, and then woke up whenever the Rose Parade started, because they lived like right
Pasadena.
next to it. Yeah, and then we woke up.
You guys want to camp out this year for the Rose Parade?
Are they even having one or no?
No,
I think they are.
It's canceled. No, this is gonna be the weirdest year because usually Pasadena is just filled with tourists and everybody kind of blocks off the street. But now this year, none of that.
I heard they're doing it still. It's just it's like they're still doing the parade, but then it's just all like the NBA automated like clapping and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude. It's a bubble.
This was brought to you by Proper 12 Irish.
fucking care.
That's Darren
Conor
Till.
McGregor. No,
That's
it's Conor.
Darren
Brought to you by Decoy.
Fake wine brought to you by
No, this
Decoy.
is real wine. The house that I'm house sitting, he's like, hey, I don't know if you drink wine or not, but you can drink this wine. And I was like, I don't, but okay.
Brought to you by Endust for electronics.
Ooh.
Well, guys, that's how we like to start our pod, is just blow out our mics with Endust and also make fake promos. Guys, I'm taking these off because I feel gay. That was very
Can we zoom in on his face?
That was very Mark Norman, sorry. I feel gay. All right, guys, this year we're going to do something different because it's our first time doing this. We're going to do our end of the year MMA awards from the We Out Here family, because guess what? Everyone listens to this podcast. Everyone watches this show. So our vote matters. Yeah. Go out and vote. So, guys, we're going to start off the first award for Breakout Fighter of the Year. Why not start with someone, he or her, that has just exploded onto the scene. What does Breakout Fighter mean to you, Alex?
Breakout Fighter to me means that you were somebody that not that much people knew. You were newer to the federation.
Yes.
Had some couple
World
fights,
Wrestling Federation.
but you decided to turn up, never down, and you decided to go out and start beating people's asses and beating them cool ways, knockouts, all that.
Beating ass is cool. Oh yeah, okay.
And
in the coolest ways possible.
Beating good fighters. And for me, that person to me is Kevin Holland.
Whoa, didn't ask for that. Hold that in.
Come on, man.
Nick, what does Breakout Fighter to you mean? Don't give me your pick yet, damn it.
Breakout Fighter to me means someone that like is less known in the federation, and they come out and they beat people's asses in real cool ways. So me and Alex are aligned on that.
Guys,
This is what
Breakout
that means.
Fighter to
International
me-
sign for aligned.
Oh, I love that. For me, I would take all that stuff. It's just you're coming up in the federation and you beat up asses real cool. And sometimes
cool.
you tap those bongos, boom, 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 with a knockout or submission, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Also, I think I would add another element to that. I'm going to put Breakout Fighter for someone not only that was active, cool KOs, but I really think it's how much are you in the diaspora of the MMA media or like
Diaspora, this guy says.
in the
I don't know what that
zeitgeist. You know what? I don't, but everyone always says Asian diaspora. So
I
you
know.
what?
that was my reference.
I'm gonna say MMA diaspora hashtag.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say just someone that's just in the MMA ether that we did not know at the beginning of the year, and now we're like, oh shit, that's a household name.
Yeah.
So to start it off, Alex, I think you already said the name. Tell us who your breakout fighter of the year of 2020 during the pandemic and why.
Kevin Holland. Because I feel like when he first came on, he did a short notice fight with Thiago Santos. No one knew who he was. I remember watching him, and I was like, oh, this guy's funny because I was watching him fight him, and the whole time he's like talking shit and like making jokes with him the whole time. And then just this year, he has the most fights won in a whole entire calendar year, right?
True.
And every single fight, there was one fight where I remember when it first happened, even he was like, oh, I didn't win that fight. It was against Darren Stewart. But I remember thinking to myself and then watching it, I was like, I thought he won the fight. I thought he looked good. So I think every single fight this year, he did good. And then he ended the year with a crazy knockout from his back against a legend. And then that had everybody talking about him because I think there's only one other fight where someone's been knocked out like that when they're on their back. It was by Nico Price, but it wasn't towards like the caliber of person that it was done to, right? So that's why I have Kevin Holland as the breakout fighter of the year.
Wow, that is a very good pick. You know what? I made a mistake because I should have given you guys some names to choose from and some other names. But you know what? Kevin Holland is a great pick. Nick, before, because I think I know who your pick is, Nick, because you just copy Alex all the time. That's what you're known for. We're going to put a montage of you just copying Alex all the time because he works at a place with MMA people. You don't.
Like minds contract great ideas together. So
cool. Let's replay
that's
that.
what I've always said.
But just to put some other names out there, Nick, maybe I can change your mind.
No.
So
how about this? How about I'll give you my.
How about I give you some more? How about I give you some more?
I'm gonna give you one. Okay.
Here we go.
So,
but can I do it for the audience? Can I name some names for the audience though?
Yeah. You know what? I'll give you a reason for every single one of them. Go ahead.
All right. So we have Kevin Holland, right? Fantastic. Alex gave us a great explanation of him.
He was my first pick, but whatever. It's all good. I have other picks.
We also have a guy that you guys like chestnuts. Because what about Hamza Chamayev?
Yes.
Okay? As a
Hamza
fighter
Chamayev.
And you know what? A couple other fighters that I think need an honorable mention that should be in the running. Also, Davison Figueiredo, who wins a title, ends up almost possibly with the best fight of the year as well. So let's put that guy out there. From nothing to something.
I'll give you my male and female picks. How about that?
How about I keep going? All right, so next, don't forget Mackenzie Dern.
I can't win with this guy.
People forget about Mackenzie Dern, who's been on the rise.
That was my female pick.
Here, but also, did you have Amanda Ribas? Hebas literally became a star overnight, Alex. I'm a little disappointed you didn't think about that. And guys, don't forget. Nah, I don't care about him. Buckley, we'll save you for another thing. You know what? You're not.
My whole thing with that is like, Amanda Ribas won one fight.
Hebas.
She won one fight against Paige, and everybody knows I love Amanda Hebas, but that's one fight.
Ribas.
Okay.
Wait, first of all, let's get Nick's pick first.
So Gilbert, who's your break?
Nick, who do you? Nick, who do you got? There's a couple.
I think okay. So for male, since Kevin Holland is taken, I'm gonna go with Hamza Chamayev.
You can do
Of
Kevin,
course,
bro. Hey, be a
No,
man,
no, no,
bro.
no.
Be you.
No.
Be you.
Bro.
Stop
The reason why I picked
John
Hamza.
Wick.
I wish I went first because Kevin Holland. We've been saying this for all year. Kevin Holland is my guy. I'm really happy that he's getting the shine that he deserves. But second runner up is for sure Hamza Chamayev, because before the year started, who was this guy? Nobody knew who the fuck this guy was. He fights back-to-back weekends and smashes his opponents, and then he goes out and KOs Gerald Meerschaert in like 15 seconds, which is absolutely insane, right?
Possible, but go ahead.
Nah, but the way he did it was like, come on, there was a lot of eyes on him, and the way for him to come out and to perform under that pressure and was ready to go. And
I'll say this on Nick's point too. Everybody was like, "Oh, well, this is his first real test. We'll see how he is against a real fighter." He knocks him out, and then all of a sudden, Gerald Meerschaert's like, but that's Gerald Meerschaert.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been saying that was Gerald Meerschaert at the beginning. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you've been a Hamzat hater, okay? But the other thing though too is he's one of the only fighters of 2020 that got his scheduled fight postponed twice. Come on, right? Against Leon Edwards. They got canceled again today. But I was really bummed about that. But whatever, it is what it is. All right, so the reason why Mackenzie Dern is my female pick for Breakout Fighter is because last year everybody was writing her off. We kind of were like, I don't know if she's going to do that well. I like Alex's pose, by the way. We don't know if she's going to do that well. She got some lackluster performances, right, in 2019. And she had a baby and stuff like that. So everyone's kind of questioning how, and she missed weight. So it was like all this controversy. This year she came out, improved her hands, right? She looked great in her fights. She improved her hands, and she was subbing she had 2 fights this year or 3 fights?
I think it was 3.
3. She had 3 wins in 2020, right? And now she's a force to be reckoned with in the, whoa, you could do that? How'd you do that?
Focus, Nick. Come on.
And now she's a top contender, and she's in the, I think, top 15 of the strawweight division. So, I feel like for her, I feel like she had a big year.
Honestly, guys, I think you guys are right. You guys already know I've been on the Holland train forever. Yeah. And honestly, I think what sealed it even for me, and I think for all of us, was just that Jacare, that last fight. I think that kind of went, boop, this guy just wants to fight all the time. He had COVID, fight got called off. He was like chilled at his house for 7 days, tested negative, and then got back to fighting. Like,
that's
this
so
guy's
crazy.
ridiculous. That guy's crazy. Also, which means COVID's fake.
Yeah,
Dana
caused
White
by
did
5G.
There you go. Alex, tell us about 5G and COVID. Go ahead. You have 2 seconds.
So basically, when you
all right,
cool. There we go. Good stuff, guys. All right, Kevin Holland is the We Out Here Breakout Fighter of the Year. Shout out to all the other nominees, but sorry, guys, you got to beat Mr. Holland. Also, does he have a nickname?
The Trailblazer.
The Trailblazer. I think. Guess Nick doesn't know it's New Year's, Alex.
I know.
Idiot.
I want to do that. How do I do that?
Idiot. Nick doesn't know. He doesn't have the capabilities.
Is that it?
No.
Oh, man.
Hey, this is also a podcast now, so no one knows what we're doing. All right?
Cool.
All right, guys. Let's move on to our next couple. We're going to go quick on these before we get to some of the bigger
No, let's go long on this, dude.
All right, let's go long. Best fight card of the year of 2020 pandemic. There were so many fight cards. Let me just say this. I don't even remember. All I know is that this was actually a really good year of fights. And I want to say, I think part of it might have been actually no crowd sometimes. There was something about watching some of these fights with no audience, just hearing the punches, the corners, and the fighters sometimes just talking to each other and just like all the grunts and everything that made, I think, honestly, so many of these cards so good just on TV because of that, for that that one reason. So, Nick, let's start with you. I can't go through a list because, if I'm being completely honest, as a fan, they all kind of mishmash after a while.
I'll tell you which one it is.
Tell me which one it is, Nick, the year.
The best fight card. Let's talk just main event, like the main card, right? Yeah. I think it has to be UFC 249. It was the first, which is Ferguson versus Gaethje. It was the first fight card after the COVID, right? After the COVID shutdowns, and we didn't know if we'll have sports again. And that was the first fight card with no crowd in a giant arena in, I think, Jacksonville. So we had let's just talk about the fight card. Okay, we had, starting it off, We had Greg Hardy and Jorgen De Castro, which was kind of a lackluster fight, but it was still a pretty good fight. But then we had Calvin Kattar, Jeremy Stevens, which was an amazing fight, right? An amazing finish. Francis Ngannou versus Rosenstrike, which lasted 20 seconds, right? Mm-hmm. Great fight as well. Henry Cejudo, Dominic Cruz, another good fight. And then we had to top it off. We had Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje, which was a shocking kind of, we didn't see how that was. Everyone, I think Tony Ferguson was a big favorite. Justin Gaethje came in and kind of ruined the party, but it was an amazing fight from top to bottom. And it was just fun to watch with no crowd, because that was the first time we've ever seen fights with no crowd on a main card with these superstars. So I feel like UFC 249 sealed the deal for me.
Wow, actually, you going through that just reminded me that was a pretty crazy card, and how everyone was texting each other like, this is nuts. And people that I think there were no sports on, I had friends like text me like, dude, UFC is crazy. It's so good. I'm like, what a crazy card to kick off the pandemic.
And Alex, can I also add the amount of blows that you heard in the main event from like the hard shots being landed? It kind of really showed you the reality of like the violence of the sport without a crowd, because a lot of times we take that for granted. We don't really know how hard these motherfuckers are throwing at each other. But in that fight, we heard everything, and it was kind of eerie, but it was just a very unique experience.
Yeah, it's eerie. That's what Conor McGregor says.
Eerie. He just says like that.
Proper 12 whiskey. Alex, hit me with some knowledge. What card did you think was fight card of the year?
I think it was the very last one, 256, UFC 256, bro.
I gotta pick one?
That whole thing. So like that card was good, the one with Gaethje and stuff, but there was a couple like fights that were just like the Jorgen De Castro and that fight to me was like it was all right. And then but this last fight card was, every single fight was good. Like the first fight, that guy, the Ben Askren lookalike, was getting beat the shit out of him. He comes back with a fucking submission.
Cooper.
Yeah. What's it called? Tisha Torres looked good. She won by TKO. You had fucking Fizez and Moicano. That knockout was insane.
Woo.
You had Cub Swanson.
Main card only.
I know, but no, you went through De Castro and all them too. And then
that was on the main card.
No, was it?
If it wasn't the main card, that's terrible. Then
it was.
Then that's a shitty card.
It was
just
the
one out of five. Come on.
But that's what I'm saying. And then you got to the main card. Even then, like the whole card was good. The main event was probably one of the greatest fights in men flyweight history. I mean, I honestly the most boring fight to me, and it was still a finish on that fight card, was JDS and Gane.
Cyril Gane.
And that would be a main event.
That's what I'm
saying.
We're
happy with that if that happened.
So my answer is 256. UFC 256 is my final answer. I stick with mine.
Come on, guys. I have to choose between you two. So, Alex, convince me more.
I think that everybody knew that, hey, yo, look at this is 2020. This is the crazy fucking year. This is the last fight card of this. Let's just go all out. Everybody, I feel like, gave everything in their fights. And there was a lot of finishes, a lot of good back and forth. I think that fight card was the best. And I think I feel like the two cards that had the most eyes on them were the ones that Nick just mentioned, because it was the first one with COVID. And then this one, because it's the last one. So
I like it full circle.
I think 256 was I think 256 had a little bit better fights.
Okay, wait.
Let me interject.
I will call on you. Okay, so you guys have two more. You have one more rebuttal, Nick. You have 15 seconds, Alex. You have a rebuttal to Nick. If you'd like it, I will choose who I think has the best case, because I can't decide. Nick, go ahead. 15 seconds.
This isn't really a rebuttal, but I'm surprised nobody said UFC 251.
Great, you're losing a cause.
I think that one's better than 256. Honestly, 251, Jorge Masvidal, Kamaru Usman. I think that one is arguably better than 256. 256 was a great card, but come on, dude.
The only thing for me is that the Usman fight and Jorge Masvidal fight wasn't the most exciting fight.
But you had Alexander Volkanovski. We had
he didn't respond to that. He went to the next fight. But you also got Herb Dean was the ref. Dana White was there.
Jose Aldo, Amanda Ribas.
But that fight too, dude. That fight too. The Jose Aldo, Peter. Now when you compare that fight to all the fights of the year, it's kind of like he won the title.
But that was 3 title fights.
All right, 15 seconds. 15 seconds up. 15 seconds up. You had a chance to defend your own card, but you did it. You kind of veered off, and it hurt your case.
249
Alex,
is number one.
Final statement, Alex. Go ahead.
I was going to say the fight card that you just mentioned, Max Holloway got robbed, so that would never be the best fight card in the world.
Yeah.
But everyone knows he won, though. Everybody knows he won.
He got robbed, and he don't have the title. So, no, that
he's featherweight champ in my eyes. That's
Hey.
all
All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to decide what are my choices.
Hold on, real quick, before everybody give me one. Oh, there we go. All right, my bad, Gil.
So I'm choosing between Nick's the first card, which is UFC 249 of the pandemic. Is that correct, Nick?
Yeah.
Just for our audience. And who was the main event for that?
Tony Ferguson versus, I almost said Tony Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje.
Makes no sense. Already
Don't know English.
Hurting your case even more because the fans don't even know what you just said.
Tony
Alex,
Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje.
Alex, what was your card? UFC what? And who was the main event?
256. The main event was Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno for the flyweight championship. Greatest flyweight in men's history fight.
Guys, I'm here happy to announce with my Santa hat on that ho, 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 Christmas is here early again. The We Out Here best fight card of 2020 is the last card of the fight year, guys. It is Moreno versus Ferguson.
Did you have a stroke announcing that as well, dude?
Hey, the hat threw me off. I'm not going to lie.
For the podcast listeners.
I'm wearing a Christmas hat.
He's wearing a Christmas hat.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next one. Let's look at these next two pretty quick. I don't have too many nominees. Worst fight of 2020. Alex, you're planking. That's what I used to do when I hold my poop when I was a kid under the Christmas table. And yes, we had a Christmas table year round. Alex, right now, worst fight, just name it.
Izzy and Romero.
Ooh, that was a hard one. I'm going to move on quickly to Nick the Ear. Nick, what was the worst fight of the year? Say it really slow so I can mouth it.
Derek Lewis and Iri Latifi.
Why did you just say the one we were all thinking? Are you serious? You don't think that? You thought that that's worse than Izzy Romero? You don't have to make this one exciting. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest.
Okay. I think it was a big letdown. I think it wasn't necessarily like, okay, just action-wise compared to the co-main event was Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That was an amazing co-main, right? So leading up to the main event, we were expecting a big fight between Izzy and Yoel Romero, and they just stood in front of each other. While it's if you're watching that fight,
that was not technical.
It's like no one's giving,
have a rebuttal
for an inch, right? No one's giving an inch. But at the same time, yeah, it was the worst fight of 2020, I think. But it was because I was really let down because I'm a huge Izzy fan, and I was like, oh man, it sucks because I wanted to see him fight Yoel, but then again, Yoel Romero didn't really do anything, so it's not. I don't really put the blame on Izzy. I put it more on Yoel. That's why he's a Bellator now. Don't beat me up, please.
All right. You know what? I think we all know unanimously that's going to be the worst fight of the year. I think with the stakes at hand, the fighters that we're expecting.
Bro, did this fool cut out again?
It had to be Adesanya and Romero. But does anyone here have any honorable mentions of other worst fights? I think Nick, you just said Latifi and what is happening?
Nah, that was
frozen?
just.
Am I frozen?
You're good.
No, you're good.
You're good. No, that was just a nonsense one I just called out. But I don't know. That fight was actually pretty good. It was back and forth. So I wouldn't say it was
the Latifi and Derek Lewis. They were both like at least trying to finish each other. At some point. I think for me, damn, it was literally just on the tip of my tongue, and then I just hold on. I was just thinking.
People are like, I looked up the worst fights of 2020 because I couldn't really remember any of them, and then people were saying Holm and Pennington too, but I don't remember that.
That wasn't that well because it wasn't that exciting. It was very damn, bro. I had a fight on the tip of my fucking tongue, and I just forgot it. I was literally about to just yell it out right now.
Was it Carlos Esparza versus Michelle Watterson?
No.
All right, next category. Nobody wants to talk about the worst fight, dude. Fuck that.
All right, guys. Let's move on to best upset of 2020 in the world of mixed martial arts. Alex, you have not buttoned one of your sleeves, so I'm going to choose you first.
Best upset. I don't know if the odds were like the numbers were crazy. All I know is that so much people were counting this guy out, and he went in and he did work, and it's Cheeto Vera versus Sean O'Malley.
Already, I like that answer. That might win the award. Nick, do you have another fight to combat that
So mine is not as high profile, but to me, I thought this was a huge. It was my favorite upset. Okay, and it was Roxanne Matafari versus Macy Barber. Because Roxanne was, I think, plus like 600 or 700, which is a pretty big gap. And then
it might have been like
Barber,
the biggest in that sense. Right?
Yeah, Macy was like, I think, minus 1,000 or something like that.
Plus all the media, her age, just the machine behind her.
Yeah, Macy Barber is like the new hot, up and coming female fighter that's like, oh, she's a phenom. She's like young. She was beating everybody up. And then Roxanne is like
OG.
She's OG, right? She wears all the crazy shit to her weigh-ins, and she's kind of nerdy or whatever,
kind
right?
of like a nerd, yeah.
Yeah, very unassuming. And she went out and smoked Macy Barber in the way that I did not think was going to happen. And I feel like everybody from just watching that fight, it's a true like visual. If you didn't watch UFC at all and you were to see those two women stand next to each other, you'd be like, oh, Macy Barber is probably going to win. Yeah. Right. Just by looks alone. And she went out and smashed her, which was pretty cool to watch.
I don't know if we were doing the show at that time, but I remember I called that fight. I forget. I don't know if it was one of you guys.
I think you were talking to me. Yeah.
I said, I was like, oh yeah, because I think we watched it at your house, Nick. I was like, Roxanne's going to beat Macy Barber. Like I just knew that she was going to that whole entire time.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with the dark horse for this one. At first I was like, of course, Cheeto Vera, because we saw that just the build up to that fight and Sean O'Malley getting just puked on.
The hype train.
The hype train shut down, but I'm going with the underdog for this award. And guess what? Roxanne, you win an award because you beat Macy Barber. So we out here, best upset goes to Roxanne. I can't even say her last name right now.
Matafari.
I'm going to call her just Roxanne, trained by Josh Barnett.
Hey, real quick before I forget it again. Worst fight that I was thinking of was if there would have to be a runner-up for Izzy Romero, it would be Curtis Blades and Alexander Volkov, because all that fight was Curtis Blades doing 3 billion takedowns and nothing was being done on the floor.
You know what? I picked that one instead.
That was a letdown because I actually watched that in my car thinking I was gonna miss something when I was driving. I almost got in 3 accidents and no shit happened.
It was boring. It was very, very, very. I remember Dana White was even so mad about that fight.
He was
talking
pissed.
about he was like, "You want to get a title shot? You fought like that." That fight was actually very boring. But
yeah, you know what? All right, guys. Beep, 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 beep. I just got a word from our producers, which is us. That we are revoking. I apologize to Adesanya and Romero. I agree. Award. This is a situation. This happens all the time to Oscars. What was that movie? Moonlight and La La Land.
La La Land.
We have a situation here. It looks like the winners of the worst fight is Curtis Blade and Volkov.
It's like when Steve Harvey gave the wrong person the badge.
Oh yeah. Wait, throw that clip up. We can't find it. Okay, let's move on to best performance of 2020. Let's define this because this is very vague. Nick the Ear. He was our note producer for the evening. So shout out to Nick.
Boom. Let's go.
Nick, what does best performance of 2020 mean to you?
Let's say flawless victory. How about that?
Ooh,
someone that came out and just exceeded expectations.
Smoked. Let's call this the flawless victory of 2020.
The No Smoke Award. How about that?
There we go.
No smoke.
So Nick, want no smoke? Let's start with what that sounds like a world star like meme. No smoke. Nick, give us their flawless victory award.
All right, so I have 2. Okay,
great. I asked for one. Go ahead.
I know. So this is what I'm gonna say. My heart says Habib always, because Habib #1 GOAT, true GOAT, right? Habib, inshallah, alhamdulillah. But I think Paulo Costa versus Israel Adesanya was probably my favorite performance. I feel like the way Izzy went out and just completely made Paulo Costa look like he did not belong in the same fighting organization as Izzy. And the way he smoked him in 2 rounds. You said what?
He didn't get memes though. So
what do you mean?
He didn't get any sleep the night before. So of course.
Oh yeah.
What are you saying right now?
That was his excuse. Remember that was his excuse.
He's like, I didn't get no memes, so I did not perform the best.
He said memes?
No, that just means sleep in Spanish and kind of
because the build up to the fight, the build up to the fight was Paulo Costa is the biggest threat to Izzy's championship reign, and I thought so too. I thought he was going to give him a fit, and Stylebender went out and made him look like a fucking amateur.
That is a flaw. That was a flawless victory.
Like, didn't take any shots. Like, barely took any damage and just smashed him for 2 rounds.
He took 1 body kick, but that's whatever.
But he caught it and he scooped it through. So.
That's so true.
Does that really count, though?
I like that pick. I like that pick a lot, Nick. Ooh, Nick is here with some fire, Alex. What do you got for me for the flawless victory of the year award?
All right, so that one's a good one, but I'm going to tell you why it's not my pick. Ready? Because I feel like there was way more people on the side of Izzy's about to go in here and outclass Paulo Costa. There were so much people saying that that's what was going to happen. My best performance of 2020 is Justin Gaethje beating up Tony Ferguson, because there was a lot more people saying, Justin doesn't have a gas tank because of his first couple fights in the UFC where he got tired and got finished. And he
took the fight on short notice.
Tony has the best gas tank. Tony has good pressure. Tony has good groundwork. Tony has good wrestling. Justin Gaethje's like, hey, hold all these fucking bombs right to your fucking face and let me beat the shit out of you for 5 rounds. And maybe I'll let you land a little uppercut in round 2. But other than that, I'm going to beat the shit out of you for 5 rounds and finish him in the 5th round. Finish Tony Ferguson. He finished Tony Ferguson. Not that much people.
Damn, dare I say that could also be in contention for biggest upset. That is actually now I feel like we might have to rewind the tape, Roxanne. But that's a pretty good one because everyone came in with like, you can't stop Tony. You can't stop Tony. Yeah. And dude, not only was it a flawless victory, it was an upset. I believe that was considered an upset.
He was a favorite going in. Tony Ferguson was.
And even like in our mindset, scrap the numbers. I think we all were like, at least, it's Tony Ferguson. No one can ever do that to him, and it happened.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Between those two, wow. Does anyone have any more honorable mentions? Top of your head, Nick, you had 2, didn't you?
I had Khabib. The way and just based off everything that going into that fight, everyone talking about the threat that Justin Gaethje had towards Khabib. I feel like a lot of people were really like, oh, Khabib is really going to get tested with Justin Gaethje. And I thought the same thing too. And he made him look like he didn't belong in the ring with him. Like he smashed him in 2 rounds as well. But I don't know, man. I just feel like Izzy's really impressed me. And I know what Alex was saying. A lot of people thought that Izzy was going to smash him anyway. But man, I don't know. I just felt like the way he went out there and just took literally no damage and just made it look so easy. He just made it look like he didn't belong anywhere near them. But you could say that with all these guys.
That is true. Oh, man, this is a tough one for me to give the award to. Don't know why I have the power, but I do. Alex has a really good case, but I'm going to be honest, Nick, I think we're going to have to give it to Israel Adesanya for flawless victory award because the mere fact that all he did was feint and knock the guy out and didn't get touched once. Low kicks on the biggest thigh in the world, but honestly, Justin Gaethje, that's
a good one.
If Justin Gaethje would have just finished that in like 2 rounds,
but that's why I think it's so much better.
If the award's been given. The award's been given, Alex.
No take backs unless the last 3 ones.
Unless the last 3 we've changed.
Them for 5 rounds, bro.
I'm trying to think. How many fights
Tony had Mimi's.
Oh,
he did have sleep that night. Yeah, he did.
All right, guys. That was the best performance 2020. All right, let's move on to some juicy awards now. We got the best KO of 2020. And just to refresh the audience's mind and also you guys, Beneil Dariush and Scott Holtzman. Ooh, spinning back.
That's a good one.
Don't forget Beneil Dariush and Jakar Klose. Ooh.
Can I also say Beneil Dariush is a good candidate for Breakout Fighter?
I
had a great year, man.
I just wish he had more than 2 fights.
But he looks so good, dude. He looks so good.
He did. Guys,
he also looks 55 years old, but he's like 29.
But yes, he does look 55, so he also gets our over 55 award. Any other takers for that award? Think right now, quick. MMA fighters that look way too old. Who?
DC.
He looks like
he's like 40. He looks pretty young
40.
though.
Come on, Alex. Jeez.
But you said like older fighter. I mean, he did good, and he's 40.
No, but like, yo,
he looks old.
It's like 32, and he looks 55.
It's the gray hairs, yo.
You know who looks old? Jose Aldo. So him.
He kind of does. When he's bald like that, he kind of does. Yeah. All right. Also, guys, don't forget, we have two Benil Dariush knockouts. We also have Cody Garbrandt with the Hadouken uppercut on a Nunsao. We have Buckley Kung Fu. I know, I like to say it the other way.
A Nunsao?
Like enunciate a Nunsao. Don't forget Buckley with his Kung Fu kick on Kasanganahe. I don't know how to say that name. And guys, we also have Kevin Holland on reverse 69 uppercut. Boom, boom, boom.
Reverse 69 is great.
And then we have our guy from Tiger Muay Thai who just went to the three-piece.
The
three-piece on Moicano. That name or two.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good one.
That's a three-piece.
Ooh, okay.
And also, don't forget the back kick of death by Sandhagen to Marlon Moraes, which also could be an upset. Also, we might have to rewind the tapes again for an upset award. All right, Alex, we'll start with you this time. Give me your take on the best KO of the year. I think I know what it is. Go ahead.
All right. So there's a lot, and I'm thinking of one, and I just need to check it real quick because I forgot about this fight, and I want to make sure it was this year because
did I say any of it? It's not in the list I just gave.
No,
is it?
No.
Oh, wow.
So it just missed the year. It was in December. I was gonna say.
What was it though?
I was gonna say Usman Covington because.
Dude, very good.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, most satisfying, but that was in December. Okay, so my original pick is between two. Is Fizez and Moicano and Buckley with the spinning back kick. I'm going to have to give that one to Buckley just because we've never seen that before.
Yeah.
We've never seen someone...
But this is the We Out Here MMA Awards. Every ESPN, NBC, CNN, they're all saying that. But what do you say as a representative of the We Out Here MMA podcast?
Fizez versus Moicano was pretty goddamn legit.
That was very fucking great.
That's like hitting mitts with our instructor, Nick the Ear, right there. That was some basics, but with some hip rotation.
Yeah.
I loved it. All right.
That was nice. And then because he was out. And then he even tried to act like he wasn't. Yeah.
Boom.
And he tried to act like he wasn't. He couldn't even get on the stool and shit. But, dude, it was so nice because he hit him with the body and then the overhand. And then he didn't just go boom, boom, boom. He went boom, boom, waited and saw where he was going, like Nick just said. And then, boom, right on his chin. Night, sleep.
And night. Mimis.
That's a great one, Alex. I appreciate your enthusiasm behind that and also changing it last minute because we're not other news outlets. We're not sheeps. We're Leons.
Leons only, papa.
Hey, Nick the Ear, give me one to combat that one, please.
Okay, so I need
options.
Buckley's. I feel like everyone's going to pick Buckley's, right? As rightfully so. It was a crazy KO, but for some reason, I just wasn't really like hyped about it. Like it was crazy. I think it was because I didn't watch it and I missed out, so I got FOMO, right? I didn't see it live. And
Same here.
Very sad.
I think that's what it is too.
I think that's what it was. But I'll give you a couple runners up before I go into my pick. I love a nice one-shot KO walk-off, right? I'll say one, Cub Swanson. That one got me hyped like a motherfucker, bro. When he knocked out Daniel Pineda. And the way I just love a nice, clean, single shot right hand walk-off KO. That makes me very happy. The other one, Sean O'Malley, right? That was beautiful. Textbook. The feint into the right hand. Oh, you can't write it better than that. Then the other one is Kevin Holland's KO of Joaquin Buckley. Nobody talks about that. Mm-hmm. That was one of the cleanest KOs. Let me
right at the end of the punch.
He literally throws the jab off center line, makes Joaquin move his head away from the shot, right into the right hand and sleeps him. Yes. Amazing. Beautiful. But I feel like Cody Garbrandt's
there we go, baby.
KO was incredible. And the way he slept a Sunsao and he was out for like a pretty long time. He was bending at the hip, went up, one shot. That was a true walk-off. That was the true walk-off. So I feel like Kevin Holland's my second favorite. But I think I have to give it to Cody Garbrandt. And I had I had a tough time with this one. But I think Cody Garbrandt. And Fiziev, also very exciting as well. But
damn, I
think Cody's the one.
If Fiziev
the one-shot KO. Ugh.
The one-shot KO, that's what's so beautiful about it. And it was, oh my God, the bell, he walked off.
Yeah, exactly.
He was on the ground. He didn't get up. And Cody didn't flinch to like chase him. He's like, no, I know that knocked him out and walked away.
And it was a very patient KO. Like he knew he was going to crack him with that one.
That was a good one. But also, we're also forgetting Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, that one was
just
cool.
ugly though. It was ugly.
No style points for that one.
Yeah. It was just literally
relax. Jesus.
You expect that from Francis.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why? Because why?
Because he's big, black, and powerful.
He has the hardest punch in the world. He has the world record for the hardest punch in the world. So
that's because I'm not in the UFC.
Oh. You know what, guys? Let's just get right to it. Man, I think we're all in agreement of those two that we currently have nominated because all those other outlets, MMA outlets, suck at this, and we gave you guys two fresh takes on it. I love both. But honestly, if we're going to go knockout and you want to put that on a poster, I think, Alex, you can't disagree with it. We got to give it to Cody Garbrandt with the KO walk-off. Yeah. I'll be happy with that.
I'm a Cody Garbrandt fan, too.
Are we happy with that? We out here.
I have two fighter shirts, Stipe Miocic and Cody Garbrandt. I would have a Max Holloway one, but every single time I try to buy the one where he's like blue and he's screaming, always out of stock. Gilbert's also frozen again.
Fuck, dude.
Now I'm here. Now he's not.
I'm here.
Fuck.
Now I'm here. I got knocked out, but I came back again. Let's go. What did you say though? You said you own a Cody Garbrandt shirt?
I own two UFC shirts. Yep. One of them fighter shirts. One of them's Cody Garbrandt. One of them is Stipe Miocic. And every single time I try to buy a Max Holloway shirt with him in it, and he's like blue and he's screaming, it's never in stock of my size. But that would be
Max. Send us some shirts, bro.
Yeah, send us some shirts, bro.
Or someone that's listening to this, send Alex some shirts, honestly. All right, guys, we out here, MMA Not Podcast, but show, Probably Now Podcast. We're going to have to go with KO of the Year to Cody Garbrandt. Shout out to you. Congratulations, sir. The most prestigious award in all MMA media. All right, guys, moving on to the opposite of KO'd is getting submitted.
I think I had the best one for this one.
So, Alex, hot talk. Hope you can back it up. Best submission of the year, 2020. Let's just, I'm going to rally some off, give the viewers some take of this past year. We have Figueiredo winning his title against Joseph Benavidez 2, the one that gave the blonde stallion his title with the rear naked choke. We have Jack Hermanson upsetting Kelvin Gastelum with
heel
the
hook,
leg, the heel
Crazy.
hook. We have Charles Oliveira, first fight with Kevin Lee. All right, an honorable mention, almost breaking Tony's arm. Honorable mention, wasn't a submission, but still Khabib finishing his last fight against Justin Gaethje. We have Aljamain Sterling, Alex's boy Aljo, getting it done against Corey Sandhagen. We have Mackenzie Dern. I forgot almost every fight.
Hannah Cyphers,
that's what it was. And then I didn't see this fight. I had to rewatch it. I didn't realize how nasty this was. But the Ariane
that was a good one.
Luana Carolina.
The knee bar.
Is that broken?
I don't know. I believe she probably hyperextended her knee like crazy. Not supposed to.
All right, guys, we have a lot.
I want to hear Alex's though.
Alex, we'll go with you. So Nick can copy. Go ahead.
I want to say all the videos that they have like on the UFC and stuff, they didn't mention this one or anything like that. But Aljamain Sterling choking out Sandhagen. Because those two, Sandhagen, Aljamain has a name already. They were like, he was a big fight or whatever like that. Sandhagen was the new guy. And he was the new guy who was going to go and do it. Every time I talked about it, Nick's like, I don't know though. Sandhagen, nice. And so
I'm a Sandhagen bandwagoner. That's why.
But I kept saying, I was like, yo, Aljamain's going to do work. Aljamain literally, and then when you see Sandhagen knock out Moraes, right? Like it was easy for him, pieced him up, all that type of stuff.
Because he had a sports psychologist. That's why.
When that fight happened, Aljamain literally just was like, I'm going to run at you. I'm going to grab you and I'm going to take you down and submit you. Sandhagen had no choice. Aljamain literally took control of that whole fight, submitted him. That was the fight to be the next for the title as well, too. So what that fight meant and how he got it done in the first round, and it looked like cake, that to me was the submission of the year. Best submission of the year.
Wow. That was a very good take, and I think that's a under the radar one as well. I like that one.
Come on, let's go.
Nick,
I'm ready for this one.
I can't. You're wearing all black. It's matching with your mic. Do something different. Take one button down for real, so we can see the mic.
Aren't you hot?
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
I'm actually so cold in my room.
Yeah, you're wearing a blanket. We've seen you adjust it 5 times. Go ahead, Nick.
It's a rub. Okay. Thank you. I got it for Christmas. Shout out to my wife, Tiffany Garcia. I love you.
Shout out to
And it's gonna be our 11-year anniversary.
Isn't it Tiffany Dunn?
Tiffany Garcia Dunn.
There you go. Get that name in there.
Come on, baby. What's up? So I'm going with Habib Nurmagomedov. Okay. And the reason why is because he finished off his career with the submission that he started his career with. That was the submission that he ended his first fight with, right? That sitting up, that mount to triangle that he set up with the arm triangle, right? That's beautiful high level stuff. He baited him with the arm triangle, threw the leg over right into the reverse to the top mounted triangle. As he's rolling to his back, he gets his toe caught in the cage, breaks his toe again. Okay. And not only does he finish Justin Gaethje with this submission that we also never seen Khabib really do in the UFC and show this kind of this type of game that he has, right? Usually when he takes people down, he just pounds them out. This time he showed some mercy to Justin Gaethje for him to switch from the armbar to the triangle because he didn't want to hurt Justin Gaethje in front of his family. And not only does he finish him with the submission that he started his career off with, but he finished it with his father's favorite submission. What's a better story than that? Right? The pressure that Khabib
going in.
The pressure that Khabib came into the fight with, and he just smashed Justin Gaethje that way, and he submits him and gives up his back. Come on, dude. This is and he gives up top position. Come on, man. You can't write a better fucking a story than that.
Beep. I have a pizza on my head, which means Alex has 15 seconds.
There's a good story because UFC just released on their YouTube a whole entire story of Aljamain Sterling about his childhood, how he grew up, bro. And then and then you see him how hard he's worked and where he got to, and then he gets his #1 title contender fight, right? And he doesn't just go in there and just like kind of win. He goes in there and destroys to make sure, be like, look, this is my title shot. I deserve this title shot. He deserved it over Aldo as well too already, but he went in there and did work. Also, if you haven't watched that shit, you should watch it because that shit is kind of like a little sad too. Like it makes you a little like, fuck, bro, this guy went through some shit. But I still think mine's better. I love Khabib. Muhammad Ali
inshallah. Show some respect, bro. Show some respect.
Inshallah.
Can I also give a non-UFC submission of the year?
Yes, we are very UFC biased on this podcast, which we will talk about.
Can I say this?
2021. Go ahead, Nick.
AJ Mckee versus Darion Caldwell. I think that has to be because that submission that was taught to me by Savant Young, who is a training partner of Antonio Mckee, AJ's dad, right?
Owner of Fight Academy.
And that was the first submission or first like grappling move I've ever learned. And usually we use that as like a sweep to get someone from off my back to on top of somebody else. But for him to submit a really tough guy like Darion Caldwell that way, I never thought you could use that as a submission, but he got it off, and that was a crazy. It just showed a lot of like, man, AJ Mckee is going to be champion of the world. That guy.
No
one's going to stop that guy.
Say that we go back to breakout of the fighter of the year, AJ Mckee, because he's on a fucking roll right now.
Dude, that guy, he's almost
fighter in the past 3 years.
That's why I don't say breakout fighter for the year though, because he's been known and he's been good. You know what I'm saying? So,
he's just smashing everyone. And he makes it look easy. For him to beat Darion Caldwell that way and make it look easy, come on.
For him to beat Darion Caldwell that way and make it look easy, I mean, come on.
That's tough.
Hey, I can't repeat that because I'm gonna mumble it up. But I will say,
freeze.
This, all right, man. All right, stop attacking my spectrum. Not all of us have fiber optics in a mansion, dude.
Fuck, dude.
God. Also, Nick, change the background sometimes of those books. Thank you. All right, guys, just jump off that just for our audience listening right now of this chaotic bus mess of an award show. That's amazing. We will be going into more highly produced shows next year, and we'll be exploring the territory outside the UFC, which I'm very excited for. And we're going to go all out. We're going to be doing live shows in Asia. I said it. I'm going to say it, so we have to do one. We'll figure it out. Alex has never had pad thai in Thailand. Only in the local Los Angeles.
At Noodle World.
Only at Noodle World, the most authentic Asian noodle world.
They have all Asian noodles there.
It's amazing. All right, guys. Oh, man, this is tough. Nick, I think he cheated a little bit because he used the art of compelling storytelling. And he
it's
really
Khabib, bro. Come on,
and Nick
dude.
is not even good at storytelling. And he fucking crushed
the worst.
He crushed it. But at the We Out Here MMA Awards show and podcast not show, I don't know what this medium is anymore, Braille Center. This something unique about Aljamain Sterling is just that rings true to our DNA.
Oh, AJ Mckee, bro. Just pick AJ Mckee.
I'm gonna have to go with AJ Mckee for the We Out Here MMA Awards show. We Out Here. We choose AJ Mckee for submission of the year. Have we all seen it? We've heard about the submission, and that's what's important. All right, guys.
And no one's talking about it enough.
And we're doing it here with our viewership. All right, guys. We're gonna go right on to Fighter of the Year. There are many options to choose from. And I want you guys, while you think, I know you guys have your picks, but just try to also remember the fighters also from the beginning of the year, pre-pandemic, because I think we also just forget sometimes what happens at the beginning of the year. We always remember what was most current. So who is ready first? Alex, your button is still open, so you go.
All right, because of what you just said too, remember, you got to remember from the beginning of the year. Okay. This person has been fighting since the beginning of the year.
Y'all, just a preface for all you guys, as you guys give your case for the award, make sure you give me all their fights as well. Continue.
Okay, I wasn't ready for all that.
Give me their fights and do what Nick did. Give me a good story of why they are the fighter of the year. You want to add some backstory about family and they're doing it for their daughter, then Darren Stewart all the way. But if we're not doing that, give me a little bit of nuggets. Also, father of the year, Darren Stewart. He fought for his daughter's surgery 5 times and he doesn't even have a daughter.
Got it.
And he doesn't have a daughter.
For his future daughter, because she might be sick. All right. Basically, Kevin Holland, baby.
Wow. Over some of the champions. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he has the most fights out of any UFC fighter. He broke the record.
How many fights?
I think 5 fights. He won 5 fights. And then to finish off the year with a knockout against Jacare on his back, feet on, not even on the floor, one leg swinging in the air, 2 punches. Bro, I mean, there's no way to finish off a year. And then on top of that, you won the most out of the whole entire year. And then his stock has risen so much. His name has risen so much. I mean, I think he's definitely the fighter of the year because of the performances he did, the output that he had this year. I think that makes him fighter of the year.
Well, that's amazing. I'm gonna also add on to whatever you guys say. I'm gonna add on a little bit just to embellish it even more. To add to that, Alex, I'll even say, not only that, he has a little bit of his own unique style of trash talking that is kind of not McGregor-esque, but just in the sense that it can travel through the media outlets.
So unique, man. He has his own unique style.
He's constantly calling people out, but it's not cringy. It's not Henry Cejudo. It's like you just believe the guy and you just want to see him fight. The fact that he is now fighting Derek Brunson because he talks shit about him is like, it's happening. This dude, that's it. That's all I have to say. This guy is definitely on the rise, and that is a strong case for Fighter of the Year. Nick, what do you got? Give me something juicy, baby.
Man,
call me baby too.
All right, baby. Here's the deal, baby. My baby. Baby. I was going to pick. Like, it's hard for me to deny Kevin Holland, man, as fighter of the year.
Okay, you're helping Kevin Holland by saying that. So let's just.
I know. My pick, I just can't believe in it anymore after I heard Alex's. Honestly, if I'm being straight up,
just go. Just do what you were about to say.
Israel Adesanya, I think. Yeah. Okay. So not only has he positioned himself to be a multi-world champ, a multi-divisional champ, but at the same time, I think he had such a great year. And even looking at his 2019 career as well, like you realize the way he fought in 2020, and in your mind, you're like, who's gonna fucking beat this guy?
Guys, Nick, give me some of the fights. Start from the beginning. Give me some of the fights from the beginning.
So he smashes Yoel Romero without even throwing any punches. Okay,
and you also might have beat him in a dance contest. We don't know
exactly, right? At the weigh-in.
He lost that.
Okay, he did.
And then, come on, stop it. And then he beats the brakes off of Paulo Costa, right? Paulo Costa.
Wait, was Robert Whittaker before all that?
That was in 2019, yeah.
Oh my God! Okay.
He had five four fights.
That's why I'm like, how is he the no?
Wait, keep going. We're not done. Keep going. Keep going, Nick.
He antagonizes John Jones on Instagram. So he's 3-0.
That's some good trash talking
3-0 for the year.
That's some good trash talking.
He sets himself up to fight at the light heavyweight division and take John Jones's belt, or Jan Blachowicz belt. So he's 4-0 this year. He's 4-0.
You know what Nick has a case for? I'm going to say that I have to help each one of you with your case. I'm going to embellish this one as well. What Nick is even saying is he's transcending a record. Not only has he won his fights, he has done what the McGregor effect is in that he has set up future fights.
Oh, no. God damn it, dude. God damn it, Gilbert. You got to have better internet.
You were getting to the juicy part. There you go.
You literally cut out. You literally cut out.
Where was I saying? What was I saying?
He's setting himself
you were like this.
up.
Oh, he's setting himself up, McGregor, as not just to have a fight, but to have guaranteed money fights. Every single fight. The next one is a money fight, a money fight, a money fight. And not only that, he has also transcended the MMA space where he's now has a Puma dealership. Okay, a Puma dealership. The person to do
he's
a big
selling
one.
Puma cars.
Puma's the animal. He's selling Puma animals. Go ahead, Alex. What, he cut me off. Go ahead.
This is all I'm going to say to those. He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't won that title yet. That fight hasn't happened yet. None of that's happened yet. Kevin Holland produced 5 fights this year and won every single one. He won every single one.
Okay, I'll say this.
I don't know how to beat the hand chopping. Think of another movement.
Okay. Can I say this? Okay. This is a hot take. I don't think it's actually a hot take. Even though he only fought 1 time this year.
Twice.
Habib.
No, Habib. Oh, I thought you meant.
Habib
Why are you trying
is the fighter of the year. Okay? Not only
I hate you, Nick. I hate you
Justin
so
Gaethje
much.
and retires undefeated 29-0 as the #1 pound for pound GOAT in the UFC rankings.
But
he's also set himself up for potential business in Eagle.
All right, we're gonna stop.
Championship.
We're gonna stop this right here. I literally think we could have beat Alex if you would have just had another point for Israel.
Okay.
No, it's too late. You fucked it, man.
No. I'm not. Has Kevin Holland been on the Joe Rogan Experience? No, he hasn't, dude.
Transcending MMA.
Adesanya has.
But he hasn't produced it yet, Alex. Has he produced a podcast with Joe Rogan?
Has he produced that lightweight championship fight yet? Has he produced the title? How many times did he fight this year?
Who was the cover athlete of UFC 4 video game and broke the curse of the EA video game cover curse, right? The thing is, if you get on a video game, you die. You lose that year, right? Jorge Masvidal lost, Conor McGregor lost, Anderson Silva lost, Ronda Rousey lost.
Izzy got bigger.
The curse?
Ready?
Izzy.
Ready?
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Who won a fight this year, started talking shit to the person, and had Izzy start talking about this person?
That's good. Alex just ran into a bed.
Kevin Holland, baby.
Just also to Kevin Holland, that is crazy that Kevin Holland got Izzy to talk about him, and he was not even ranked yet. That in terms of trash talking.
When did he talk?
After the fight where he almost broke that guy's neck, and then Kevin Holland was talking shit to him outside the octagon because he was there, and then they had then of course everybody has to talk about him in the interviews, right? And Izzy's like, oh yeah, whatever, he was just talking shit, But now you have Izzy talking about Kevin Holland.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That's
good rebuttal, Nick. Yeah,
Izzy fought twice this year. Gave us, he didn't personally give us, but was one of the most boring fights of this year. I thought it was literally worst fight of the year. That was one of his fights.
Volkov was. Volkov and
see. And his other fight, he looked really good in it.
But also here's the thing,
right? It wasn't too shocking.
Yoel Romero.
Here's the thing with Nick Dunn.
Well, also Israel Adesanya outstruck him 48-40, so I feel like you have to give him the W.
All right, guys, we're talking about this too long. I'm going to take my decision. I actually like both of what you guys are having to say. I actually was going to go Kevin Holland all the way, because that's what we do here. But then you forget about Izzy and what else he's done outside of the ring and what he's created. He made himself a superstar this year with only 2 fights, and one of them were shitty. You have to put some stock into that. No, but because this is the We Out Here MMA show, we're giving it to Chan Chang Sung, the Korean zombie fighter of the year, losing to Brian Ortega in a terrible one-sided fight. We got to give it to Chan Chang Sung. Honestly, Kevin Holland, the We Out Here MMA show. Kevin Holland.
That's the thing. Izzy was champ already last year. He already had a big name. all that good shit, right? All that stuff came to him from him producing those fights, being the champ, and so how quick he got it. But that was all 2019, baby. This is 2020, the year that no one knew of Kevin Holland. Now everybody's talking about him.
You know what?
I think why he won Best Breakout Fighter of the Year.
But I still think Izzy has a very strong case because almost every headline this year was covered with positive Izzy, negative John Jones, negative Connor.
Also, can I also say this?
Go ahead.
This is probably going to be the nail in the coffin, okay, for your argument for Kevin Holland. As much as I love Kevin Holland, hold on. Let me just say this: was Kevin Holland accused of having gynecomastia growing out of his chest?
No,
he wasn't. But Izzy was. Let's go, baby.
And guess what? I'm a doctor. I can confirm that.
And hold on. And guess what? Izzy has it. So you know what that means. There's only two things. It's natural or he's on drugs. So,
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I think it's genetic.
I think it's genetic too.
All right, guys. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right, guys. We have our final big award of this podcast / MMA show. The best fight of 2020. Let me just list some fights off for you, and feel free to add some more, guys. We have John Jones, Dominic Reyes, where I lost $100 because Alex lied to me. We have Justin Gaethje. Remember, we were all on our toes were on that fight. That was a pretty fun fight to watch. We have also Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson. Obviously, we talked about that fight. Crazy fight. First one of the pandemic. We also have Dan Hooker and Paul Felder. Alex is one of his favorite fights, and I think I think you're obsessed with Dan Hooker because of that fight. We also have one.
He likes Paul Felder.
Oh, yeah. Paul Felder in that fight, that's right.
Yeah.
He likes Paul Felder because he talks about how he did theater in high school and he studied theater. That's why it's Alex.
That is correct. That's a different award. Thespian award goes to Paul Felder. One of my personal favorite fights of the year, and I can't believe I'm saying this because they're not even like huge names or superstars. Josh Emmett, Shane Burgos. That was a fucking
fight
sick
was a banger. I forgot about that.
We also got our boy Dustin Diamond Poirier and Dan Hooker. Crazy fight. When you got Teddy Atlas, a boxing, talking about an MMA fight to that length on his podcast, you know it was a good fight. We also have Figueiredo and Moreno, one of the best draws of the century. We also have, you can't go wrong with this. I think people are going to forget about this. Like, it's weird. It's this like the most assumed to win fight of the year, but also it was so early on, people will forget because there's more recent
Yoel
fights.
versus Izzy.
No, Joanna versus Joanna versus Young Jacek. Joanna versus Young Jacek. And
Battle
our girl, and Nick's sister, Zhang Weili. And we also have, I put this one, a lot of people didn't have this on their list, but my heart rate was racing through this one. Miocic versus Cormier 3. Just the buildup of it, just the entire fight week of it, to me was was one of the best fights of the year. And also, shout out to Cerrone versus Pettis 2. People forgot about that one. I thought that was pretty fun. Really? Cerrone versus Pettis 2?
I was like this.
Cerrone versus Pettis. You guys forgot about the fight. You forgot about
I remember watching that fight. And
what happened?
I remember thinking that fight wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I didn't really get that hyped off that
What
fight.
happened? What happened? Go ahead.
Everyone thought Anthony Pettis lost.
Yeah, and he won.
And everyone thought Donald Cerrone won.
He kicked him in Japan. He won and got to fight Benson Henderson next. What?
That was Joe Lozon. Anyways, next.
All right, guys. We'll start. Who wants to go first? Raise your hand, or if you're missing a button from your sleeve, Alex, go ahead.
There was a lot of good fights. This last fight card, that fight was insane, good. But I have to say Wiley Zhang and Joanna Young Jacek. That fight was so good. They both both literally gave all that they could to try and win that fight. It was a close fight, but why I think it was the best fight of 2020 was because this year was a year obviously where everybody couldn't do normal life, right? It was COVID, all that type of stuff. So my thing is, I'm going to my mom's house to watch his fights. They don't watch fights. My little sister doesn't watch fights, any of that. So I have them watch the fights because it was live that night. They watched this fight. They were so into this fight because it's two girls, right? Fighting. They're going all of it. They're screaming. My mom is like, oh my God, this is so cool. That fight had my mom literally like, hey, is there fights on next weekend? Oh, can I watch it? That fight made a lot of fans, just that fight in itself. And I think especially for women's MMA, right? It was so Ronda Rousey. This fight right here really put the women's MMA on the map. Like, no, look at the talent that's coming around now. Ronda Rousey was in a time where no one was as good as her. There was no one as good as her. She was just destroying everybody. But now the talent in women's MMA is getting so good. This fight was so good, striking wise, all that type of stuff. I thought that was the best fight of 2020.
That is a hot take, and it's a take that I will be taking to my dinner plate. That was fantastic. Nick, what can you provide for us and offer us?
So here's the thing.
Okay,
I think Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk is the clear front runner, and I feel like is the fight of the year.
But
you cannot deny that. But my personal favorite was Dan Hooker and Dustin Poirier, because you saw in that fight, one, no crowd. So for me, I'm a big fan of hearing the blows. I'm a big fan of hearing like the banter between the fighters, which you got a little bit of that in between. And every moment in that fight, it was everything about MMA that you love, right? A little bit of grappling, a little bit of takedowns, a little bit of guys standing in the pocket and little besos and people throwing at each other. And both fighters at separate times in the fight almost ended the fight. And they're like, Dan Hooker almost finished Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier almost finished Dan Hooker multiple times in that fight. But I feel like you could say the same thing about Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, right? You watch these fighters throw everything out there, and you really believe that they left everything in the cage in that fight. So it was a major spectacle. And I feel like there's no losers in this category, because it was probably the clearest sign of like why people love MMA and fighting sports in general. It's because you see people leave everything that they have in the cage, and you know that they're sacrificing their body, their brain cells, and fucking CTE for them to put on a show for all these people. And because there was no crowd, I feel like people, well, at least in my opinion, I felt like I enjoyed it a little bit more. And I was able to really appreciate the damage and the bodily harm that they were doing to each other. Mm-hmm. So to me, I feel like Dan Hooker and Dustin Poirier was my fight of the year. But Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I think you have to give it to them. You have to, because they're ladies and they're just showing that they can fucking scrap. And that, I think, just back and forth wise, it was just nonstop. So I changed my pick, and I'm going Zhang Weili.
Can I say one more thing about the Zhang Weili fight too? Please to me, I think it helped the sport in the sense of women's MMA, and I think the fight that you can compare that to is the Forrest Griffin Stephan Bonner fight, but roles reversed.
I agree.
Because literally, like, to see, I've been into MMA since I was 14 years old. My mom.
How old are you now?
That's a lie.
27.
42. Go ahead.
And they've never been into it. My mom, they watched that fight and they were like, oh my God, this is actually exciting. My mom's like, I don't know why I don't ever watch these. These are fun. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been telling you this for 14 years, right? So I just think that fight did a lot. I think when people talk about women's MMA, no matter what, you have to talk about Ronda Rousey. But I feel like the next thing after Ronda Rousey is going to be that fight right there.
And wow, I think that put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I agree.
Guys, I think that is the fight of the year. Just to jump off what Alex and what Nick were saying, man, that fight really, not only was it good for women's MMA, but also I think it made the UFC realize the value in the 115 division too. Mm-hmm. You have so many matchups after that fight where all the attention was put on the 115. It used to be 135 because of Ronda, but now it's like, 115 is where it's at with like technical, quick, fast fighters. And also that fight could have came at a better time when the UFC is like really trying to break into China and they were building that stupid thing. They didn't have any stars over there, and they finally get her, and China's behind her, behind a woman in China. Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah. So kind of came out of nowhere too, right?
Nowhere. I mean, she
kinda
had that
nowhere.
Like Andrade, she like destroyed her, but like we didn't see her on that big stage. And also Jędrzejczyk, we love her. Also, I honestly think it helped.
Cleanest strikers in the game. One of the cleanest.
Her getting that hematoma, I think, helped the fight because it brought so many headlines.
Yeah. And, also, Zhang Weili had one of the best like face-off comments out of every face-off.
Shut up.
Yeah. Joanna's just talking shit. She goes, "Shut up." Dude, that was like headlines.
Hey, you can't do that though. You can't do that though. Bro.
She was like, very much shut up. Very much.
Very much shut up.
And the thing is, like, she just smiled. I was like, love you right there. Shout out to her. Guys, that hits all our big awards. We have some quick ones. I want to get some rapid fire awards for you guys. Nick, first, top of your head, most cringe moment of MMA this year. Go.
I don't know.
I have one.
Henry's. Okay,
go ahead. Henry Cejudo, everything.
My bad.
No, go. I don't have one.
Alex Hernandez talking shit about Donald Cerrone giving up in the Conor McGregor fight, even though Donald Cerrone beat the living shit out of him. That was the cringiest moment to me this whole year.
Actually, I'll say fucking Stephen A. Smith. That's a good one too.
Oh, with the Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Also, Sean O'Malley talking shit about Cheeto Vera, even though Cheeto Vera.
I changed mine. I choose that one.
I choose that one too. That was mine. That was gonna be the Cheeto Vera.
Actually, you know what bothered me, and this is recency bias, but I just didn't like how Cheeto Vera was like doing this motion when Jose Aldo had his back for the whole third round.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, don't beat my ass, Cheeto Vera, because I know he lives in California. He's gonna beat my ass, but in a cool way. Dude, he took your back, and he was trying to submit you for the last round. Like, what do you expect him to do? Right? Like, come on.
But I think
he's like getting mad. He's like,
hey, don't
Alexander Hernandez,
your neck.
Because you could tell, like, when he was in that interview right before he said that, because they asked him about it, you could tell that he knew that he was just trying to say some shit. He goes, he gave up, and he was trying to like play off this whole thing. I'm like, bro, he beat your ass. He finished you. And you're gonna sit here and talk shit. Now Nick's smoking a cigarette while we're doing like,
smoking a cigarette, dude. Why?
It's a candle.
Okay, players.
I think that was my most cringe. Sorry,
I like that right there. All right, next one, Alex. You go first. Best dress or best style? Go. Fighter.
Figgy. Did you see him in his last fight?
Look good.
Davison Figueiredo. All of a sudden, he went from wearing like all this just normal clothes. Like, he was all Gucci'd out with like this big ass fucking, looked like a big old towel, like a curtain around him.
Dude, he's playing the part. He's playing the part, and I like it. Nick, who you got for best style or best dressed?
And Askren.
Colby Covington.
Actually, you know what? He does try to dress the part.
No. It's the MAGA hats. I'm just kidding. Remember when Jorge Masvidal came into Fight Island and he was wearing that dumb robe?
Yeah.
I'll choose him.
I kind of like that. That was fun. I'm going to go back really to cringe moment, and this might just be like, I've been getting annoyed by her IG page. I had to actually unfollow her. Was Yona Young J chick.
Why? Because she's an Instagram model now, huh?
Dude, I remember when I don't know if you guys fell in love with her at the same time, but when she came over from Poland and she was just like this like scrawny girl who just like
wanted to fuck everybody up.
Never wore makeup, hair always didn't care about that stuff. And it's all her Instagram page is her like just training and being like, I'm training hard to be a champion. And then something happened. Someone got a job on their upper body, and all she tried to do was just posing photos in bikinis and like, this is not you.
She's living her best life.
I might need to follow her then. Shit, I don't even follow her.
No, yeah.
She looks like a different person. She like not like. I just feel like what you said. Like when she came to the UFC, she seemed very
like
kind of tomboyish, right?
Yeah, a little Connor.
And then now she's definitely like, oh, you're Paige Van Zandt kind of now, you know?
I get it. I was talking to some other females about this who are fans.
She's way more girly now.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It's just
which is fine.
Just such a weird. It's such a strange flip because I always thought of her as like I'm a hustler fighter, like grinding it out. Anyways,
I feel like she made her money and she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna make money off IG, and she probably is. So good for her.
She's for sure making bank.
Just probably smarter, you know.
All right, guys. Best trash talker. Alex, go. Of this year, who has some of the best liners? Who has some of the best headlines as a trash talker? John Jones, your favorite fighter?
I think you gotta go Kevin Holland, dude.
Maybe Kevin Holland. Even Izzy. Maybe Izzy.
I would say Izzy.
You know what? No. Hamza. He's like, I smashed this
Hamza.
guy.
Actually, Hamza.
I smashed this guy.
I smashed him. You want me to fight him this week, brother?
He's like, clean my room. I smashed you.
I smash everybody this week, and you give me one fight, I smash him right after.
That's pretty good Hamza.
All right, guys. Best butt male fighter. Nick, go ahead.
Ovin St. Preux.
Yeah, he got a thumper on him, dude.
Bro, as soon as you said that, all I did was picture. All I pictured was like one of those like alpha mega stamps on his butt cheek.
Bro, he has the biggest butt I've ever fucking seen before. You know who made me think about it? I remember listening to Brendan Schaub's podcast, and he had mentioned
Of course, Brendan Schaub made you think about a man's butt, dude.
But he had said it, so like the next time I watched this fight, like I just looked, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker really has
a juicy butt.
In that.
And you know, you know what? It doesn't help him too. He wears his pants high and tight. So mine is probably I can't think of one, man. I wish I prepared for this. Probably Yoel Romero.
Relax, dude.
Yoel Romero.
Relax.
I'm an observer of glutes.
Male butts, guys.
Male butts.
All right, I'm gonna leave it to you guys one more time. What are you grateful? What are you grateful for the 2020 MMA world? What is one thing you're like? I'm glad this happened this year.
I'm glad that Dana White, even though I believe that we all need to be safe and all this type of stuff with the virus, that it's real, we gotta really take precautions about it. But I'm glad that Dana White did do that, but was still also like, fuck this. I'm not letting this virus stop the UFC. So I'm grateful for UFC saying that and producing fights, because they gave us fights for literally like 6 months in a fucking row. It felt like every single weekend there was a goddamn fight. Yeah. So
to the point where we started an MMA show, not podcast.
Yeah.
Now podcast because of all this. So
because of the ecosystem that Dana White created. And also too, it's like he created the blueprint for all sports.
True.
Right.
Do it safely.
Because for the NBA bubble, right. And it was probably one of the best like finals or best playoff series that you could ever watch, just watching them in the NBA.
They weren't first, but they weren't first.
Exactly. Right. So, but also I feel like this is the biggest year for MMA 100%. Across the board. So much more eyes on ESPN, like ESPN MMA, like it's just in general, I feel like the sport is going to blow up even bigger because of the stars that came out of the pandemic, like the Hamzats, the Kevin Hollands, right? And I feel like the sport will forever be bigger because of this year. Yeah. In the best way possible. If there's any positives out of this year, was how much MMA we got to watch across the board. Sir. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's into it. And actually
we got spoiled because
yeah, we did.
Because like I feel like what the fuck do I do with my life for these next 3 weeks until fucking fights start again? So
I'll be in Hawaii.
Hey,
I'll be hanging out with my boy Max.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit him up.
He's flying to he had to fly out to Fight Island though, so you might not see him.
Ooh.
That's true, huh?
You know what else I didn't put this on here, but just a shout out to Cater and Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah,
fight. I don't know what that was.
That was one of the great fight.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time with the regular episode. What is that? It's gonna be the Holloway versus who's he fighting?
Calvin Cater.
Oh shoot, versus
Man,
Cater.
that's gonna be crazy.
So we'll hit you guys with that episode when that comes out. We're going to be on a tighter schedule this next year. We're really excited. I think we've got some big things that we're going to talk about privately, and we're going to hopefully maybe do this in person one day. But if not, I know people have also just enjoyed us doing this on Zoom so we can have fun with it. Honestly, and we're gonna the podcast. We're gonna move it over to all your favorite streaming services. We're gonna try to do more content, make it just make the show better next year.
We're coming at you 2021, guys.
Live streams.
We're gonna blow this up. Oh yes, more live streams. Maybe we'll do a live stream for one of those fights. Whatever works out for one of your guys' schedule better. Maybe the pay-per-view.
Conor Poirier.
Duh. Conor Poirier.
That's the next live stream, guys.
That's the next live stream. Be there. We'll do giveaways. Oh, I'm gonna do a giveaway right now. Hold on. Vamp.
Gilbert, if all you true We Out Here MMA fans, if you've been watching, you've noticed that Gilbert has never had a bed frame. And if you've noticed, he now has a bed frame. So our boy stepping up in the world. His internet went to shit, but he has a bed frame.
All right. So we are back. We're going to do our final giveaway for the end of the year. It is the MMA Awards show, so we have some amazing giveaways for you. We are giving away a UFC Joanna Jędrzejczyk signed poster to me, Gilbert. She says, "Love you, Gilbert, my favorite heart." So we're giving away a signed autograph to me, to you. You have a choice of three: Joanna Jędrzejczyk or Joseph Benavidez to Gilbert. Love, Joseph B. So
can I say something real quick?
Yep.
You giving away a Joanna Jędrzejczyk poster sounds really bad, especially after you said you had to unfollow Joanna. So it just sounds like you're not a fan of her anymore. So you're just giving away Joanna shit.
I'm kidding. I just followed. Also, I'm giving away Joanna signed gloves that she gave me personally. So guys, I don't know why, but I have 2 Joseph Benavidez ones.
Dude, Joe B.
This one says to Gilbert, Joseph Benavidez, or you guys want this one, it says to Gilbert, to my favorite Filipino, Joseph Benavidez.
I was going to say something, but it's pretty mean, so I'm not going to.
Say it.
I'm be like, he's giving away posters of 2 people that tried to fight for a title and just couldn't.
Oh, and that's our show. Take it back, Alex.
I take
it back.
Right, I really wish Joseph Benavidez would have won that, though.
Me too.
You know what, Joseph? I say join a tournament, go to freaking 1FC, and try to beat DJ. Make some money that way. That'd be really cool, I think. Win a title somewhere else and come back to UFC. All right, guys, that's our show, our first MMA Awards show. Next time we do this, maybe we'll do it in person with a podium and fancy graphics and all that stuff. But guess what? It's pandemic, and this is how we do it at the We Out MMA show. Nick, where can we follow you?
Sponsor us for 2021.
Nick, the air on everything.
Alex, where can we follow you?
Lift God with 2 F's and 2 G's everywhere.
You can follow all your CDC updates as usual at Gilbert. Also at Barack Obama. We love you.
Also at Barack Obama.
Keep eating on the mic.
I could tell that you big mad, cause I've been doing things that you big can't. And we be keeping bitches with a big ass.